Did you know that 3 shocking paranormal beach events have happened in the past year that are so disturbing that local authorities, while baffled, still have open investigations ongoing for these cases? We delve into the top 3 most disturbing, mysterious paranormal encounters on beaches within the past year. Our number 3 is so shocking, police are still examining the DNA evidence involving mysterious traces of blood and missing items. Paranormal event. Number 1. The Watcher on the Beach. Until he was about 25, John lived in a picturesque beach town. The neighborhood was just a 20-minute walk from the ocean, and his life revolved around the beach. Surfing was second nature to John, and finding sand in his shoes was a daily occurrence. His 2 best friends, Armin and Chuck, were extroverted, outgoing and charismatic. They were 18, obsessed with girls and always seeking adventure. One late May Saturday night, their lives took a chilling turn. They had already secured their college acceptances, so high school felt irrelevant. That evening, John and Armin planned to meet 2 girls from their high school, whom they had been getting along with well. The plan was simple: pick them up, head to a secluded beach, and enjoy the night with blankets and wine. Despite the risks, he drove to Sophia's house just after 9 p.m. Sophia and her friend, slightly tipsy, danced to the car, setting the stage for what they thought would be a memorable night. Taking a scenic route, they arrived at a secluded beach about a 30-minute drive away. The car ride was filled with laughter, deep conversations, and a sense of freedom. They chose a beach with a dirt path leading to a narrow sand trail, ensuring their privacy for the night. After a few hours and an empty bottle, Armin and Fran wandered off, leaving him and Sophia to themselves. As they lay on the blanket, a strange noise interrupted their moment. Sophia whispered, "Do you hear that?" Straining to listen, he heard a faint whirring noise like a small engine. The sound moved around, its source elusive. He dismissed it, eager to return to their evening, but soon Sophia shrieked, pointing skyward. Above them hovered a drone, its presence both unexpected and terrifying. The thought of being watched unsettled them both. They hurried back to the car, where Armin and Fran were waiting. After explaining the situation, the mood turned somber. The drive back was tense, and attempts at light conversation fell flat. The girls didn't feel safe returning home, so they headed to Chuck's house, known for its welcoming atmosphere. Arriving at Chuck's, he took a moment to process the night's events. Then his phone buzzed with a notification. AirTag found moving with you. Panic set in. They were being tracked. He found the AirTag taped to the car's tire well and smashed it. Fearing they were still being watched, he ran inside to warn the others. They spent the night in Chuck's basement, unsettled but safe. Weeks later, Chuck called him in a panic. When he arrived, Chuck showed him grainy photos from that night on the beach. It was so shocking. He dropped the phone in horror. They called the police, but there was little they could do. The fear of blackmail lingered, but nothing happened. Sophia, however, never felt the same around him again. The memory of that night haunted him, a constant reminder of their vulnerability. Paranormal event number 2, the buzzing drones. Ricardo and his best friend, both 19 and from affluent North Jersey families, cherished their summers at the Jersey Shore. One summer night, they decided to forego their usual party scene for a quieter evening on a secluded beach in Lavallette. What began as a peaceful night under the stars quickly turned into a nightmare they would never forget. They biked to a desolate beach at the end of a dark road. Perfect for their plans, they hid their bikes and settled on the cool sand, enjoying drinks and a joint. The sky was clear, and the sound of the ocean provided a soothing backdrop. But then a faint metallic buzzing broke the tranquility. He heard it first, a barely detectable sound like a distant humming machinery. Ricardo heard it too, and they both scanned the darkness, unable to locate the source. The buzzing grew louder, and their unease turned to fear. Instinctively, they ran toward the sand dune, but Ricardo abruptly stopped. At the peak of the dune stood a tall, dark figure with unnaturally long arms. More figures appeared, motionless and menacing. They ran parallel to the beach, desperately trying to escape. They didn't go back for their bikes, choosing instead to run all the way home. The next morning, they retraced their steps, but found no trace of their bikes. The memory of that night, especially the eerie buzzing noise, haunted him. He couldn't explain the events and had never experienced anything like it since. Before we get to the most disturbing real beach mystery of 2024, like and subscribe for more spine-chilling mysteries. Paranormal event number 3, the figures in the lagoon. As a child, Nathan loved the beach, but one summer weekend at a friend's beach house in LBI changed everything. He and his friends, Charles and Riley, were ready for an unsupervised adventure. Little did they know their weekend would turn into a horrifying ordeal. The house had multiple entry points and backed onto a lagoon, offering a perfect setting for their escapades. After settling in, they invited 3 girls over, looking forward to a fun evening. They spent hours in the backyard pool, smoking and enjoying the summer night. But then, Charles noticed someone standing on the opposite dock. The family that lived there was supposed to be away. Initially dismissing it, they continued their evening, but soon Riley noticed movement. The dim light revealed 4 tall silhouettes facing them. They rushed inside, locking doors in panic. Riley realized he had forgotten to lock the upstairs deck door, and they heard footsteps above. They bolted for the car and called the police once they were safely away. Returning with the police, they found valuables missing and the family boat stolen. But the most disturbing part, the blood traced back towards the pool, despite them having been near it all night, until getting up to examine the source of the footsteps. Police took samples of the blood found, but later confirmed that it did not match anyone who was known to be there that night. The thieves knew the house well, and the incident has devastated everyone involved. To this day, Nathan locks every door and window, haunted by the memory of those figures standing silently in the dark. Remember to lock yours, like and subscribe.